Good morning, students. This is part third, Federalism. Chapter number 2, Civics. Federalism. Students, the last point which we covered in my part 2 video, it was decentralization. Actually, that was the last point to be covered from the lesson. So once again, take a review of this entire lesson in this video part 3. The first point which we learned in this lesson, it was what is federalism. Do you understand? Could you remember? The first point was what is federalism, in which we studied the meaning of federalism. Here I would like to repeat the meaning of federalism. The provision of two or more than two levels of government in a country is known as federalism. In a very simple way, a single statement is just enough to understand what is federalism. So once again, I repeat, a provision of two or more than two levels of government in a country is known as federalism. Then we studied the next point in the lesson. It was key features of federalism, under which we studied 7 important key features of federalism. After that, we covered the another point. It was kinds of federalism. Children, in kinds of federalism, we studied 2 types of federalism. One was coming together federalism and another was holding together federalism. Coming together federalism, the examples of these countries are USA, Australia, and so on. Many countries are there. Then in second category of federalism, it is holding together federalism. Its examples are Spain, Belgium, India, and so on. So now the next point we studied in the lesson, it was what makes India federal country. So children, we as studied the key features of federalism. Then this present point which I just mentioned, what makes India federal country. Then here, if we apply all those, the meaning of federalism and key features of federalism as well, then we can say India, absolutely it is a federal country, there is no doubt, because it possesses all the requirements and the conditions to be a federal country. We can apply all those 7 features of federalism as well as the meaning of federalism. Then we come to know how federalism practiced in India. So this was the point we covered in my previous video. In order to implement the policy of federalism, we in India made some alteration in its original spirit of federation, and those were the changes respectively called language policy, linguistic states, and center-state relations. So these were the three points comes under the alteration of how we practiced this system of federalism in India. The last point which I covered in my previous video, it was decentralization in India. Students, under this point, we studied in detail about the decentralization in India, in which we come to know the meaning of decentralization, which I explained you in detail. When power is taken away from central and state governments and given to local government, it is called decentralization. It's a very simple statement to understand. In other words, we can say there are certain powers from the center and state government taken away and given the same to the local government is known as decentralization. Then again we studied in the same point why this decentralization was felt necessary to India when we had already two levels of government in the country. One is state level, state government, and another is central government. Despite we had two levels of government, then why there was a need to have the third tier of government, which is known as local government? Then the answer of this question is very simple. Students, India is a vast country geographically and a population in terms of population. So, though we had these two types of government, state and center, they were not able to pay the attention to the last remote areas of the country, and the requirements of the people were not met out in time. For every small and minor things, these remote area villages, they were depend on either to the state government or on the central government to satisfy their needs, and they were not met out in the time. Therefore, it was necessary to have the third level of government, and in which the people and the government body at the third level, which is known as the local self-government, or further it is called the Panchayati Raj system. So the people who involved in this body of the governments were given certain powers to take the decisions regarding their requirements. Then, after this point, we also studied about the implementation of this decentralization in our country. Of course, students, in our country, the decentralization provision was there since our independence, but till 3 to 4 decades that the decentralization was not implemented in proper way, and that concept of decentralization was remain into a paper or in the documents. But in a recent past from 1992, major changes were made in the implementation system of local self-government. Then what were the changes that took place after 1992? Just focus over them. Then that also I covered in my previous video. Many changes they occurred in its implementation, like constitutionally holding election after every 5 years, it was made mandatory. Then second thing was, we studied, the seats were kept reserved for the SC and ST and other backward caste. The third point was that there was a provision after 1992 which was observed very strictly, that 1/3 seats of the local self-government was kept reserved for the women. Then an independent institution was established at the state level to conduct and hold all the procedures of the election at a state level as well as the panchayat level, to make this a systematic organizing and implementing the elections of local government. Then we covered the next point under the change that came in after 1992. It was the state government was also need to share some powers of revenue with local government bodies, which is a very important thing to meet out the requirements of the local self-government. This is what we covered in the previous video. Okay, children. Then at the end, today again I would like to revise the other two important points of the decentralization. Students, this decentralization concept was not only confined up to the villages or a rural area, but also it was applied to the urban areas, I mean to say cities and towns. So where the decentralization or local government was called the municipalities and municipal corporations. The municipality is at small towns and municipal corporation works at big cities like cosmopolitan cities, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, then Delhi, many others, the big cities are there where a municipal corporation works as a decentralization unit. Whereas in rural areas, the Gram Panchayat is the bottom unit which works at the village level. Then Panchayat Samiti, which works at a taluka level, and Jilla Parishad at the district level. So this is how this concept of decentralization was made available to both the rural and urban areas. The main intention to implement the concept of decentralization was to make people responsible and make them to feel that their existence is also of some importance, through which the government has given an opportunity to participate in the decision making process at the local level, so that these people, they could use the sources of income in a proper way, and the management of resources as well as the requirements can be cope up in a balanced way. This is all about the decentralization. Students, thus this lesson come to an end. So this is enough for today's session, and the question answers and your queries, that all will be attended in my online class.